We are here covering NXT live tonight, and we've also got our exclusive interview with Cole Radrick premiering on the channel as well tonight and everything. So when you're done here, you can go ahead and watch that. I had to step away and everything from that because maybe Cole might have felt a certain way about some things that I might have said and everything. But absolutely. We've got NXT right now, and we've got Ilya Dragunov versus Trick Williams kicking off. So give me your predictions in the chat right now. Who are you taking, Cliff? I think I said I'm taking Ilya.
Yeah, well, you know what? Usually I'd be, contrary, but I think I'm going with Dragunov too on this one.
Absolutely.
It's like, how do you not?
Right? Yeah, it's a little bit of, and that's it's interesting to see though that, and I do see a couple people that I think are saying that their stream isn't working, so I'm going to just check on that real quick. But Steve, what up? Ronnie, what up? But yeah, It's interesting to see. We just had Ilya come back, and then he had the whole situation with JD McDonough, but now we've got him involved with Trick Williams. Are we getting this heavyweight championship scene when it comes to NXT seems a little bit, a little bit murky now, a little bit cloudy. We've got Jinder versus Bron later tonight for the championship, but we've also had Carmelo eyeing down Bron. Now we might get Ilya or JD.
I don't know if I understand clearly on how this happened here with Trick and Dragunov, because Dragunov came back, but he was coming back for McDonough. He wasn't coming back for any of the other guys, but somehow Trick got, I guess, offended.
Yeah. Well, Trick's honestly managed to make himself he's kind of been a breakout star, I feel, on NXT and everything. He started off as just kind of why am I blanking on his name? Carmelo's right-hand guy, and just was afraid to climb a ladder. If we all remember seeing him on the 2-foot ladder, and shaking. But he's really kind of found his own, I feel. I think this is going to be a good match with him and Ilya, as we got to roll up right now for a 2 count. Oh, that's why. Catherine thinks, no, we're reacting to the show, dear. You can go and watch that on plenty of other, maybe watch wrestling or anything like that. Or if you have USA Network, we're not showing the show, we're reacting to the show.
Yeah. But otherwise, we'd go to jail probably.
Yeah, it's this thing called copyright, and I like being on YouTube. And I think a couple other people like me being on YouTube. But Judgment's taking Ilya. Jason, Nick, and Cliff, I have Ilya. Is it true that AEW has canceled Rampage? I have not heard that story, sir. Have you?
I have not heard that either.
If they did, they'd just turn it into Ring of Honor, which that might be Tony Khan's big announcement that will be here for live tomorrow night as well.
I can see him doing that.
I think that's what needs to happen. But so I'll ask you, Cliff, how do you feel about JC Jane being the heartbreak chick now that she's gotten that cleared by HBK, that now because she's the Marty Jannetty that, super kicked GG HBK there, she's now the heartbreak chick.
I think it's cool because it kind of swerved everyone. No one expected it.
No, fair enough with that, but I'm saying the moniker.
Oh, the moniker? I don't know. Maybe it's to pay homage somehow there. It's.
Well, I think that's they very much set that situation up to be a tribute and homage to that of.
Yeah.
Even though HBK can't go in the ring, he's got to still get his shit over. But Steven Dragunov, but won't be surprised if JD will strike after the match. Good test for Trick. Trick needs some more matches instead of hanging around ringside with Carmelo. Fair enough. Well, and there's rumors that maybe Trick or at least Carmelo are going to be involved with the new version of the Hurt Business if they revitalize that.
Yeah.
Bobby's saying,
sorry?
That
was probably one of the best stables that they had.
That's why everyone still wants it to come back. It's one of the few stables that's Ilya gets dumped onto the outside by Trick.
It was just so good. It was so good.
It didn't overstay its welcome. It ended before people got sick of it.
Yeah.
It ended too soon, I feel.
Yeah, it did. It did.
Oh!
But yet the New Day is still around.
Yeah. Oh, and we've got JD showing up from his... Now, this is such an interesting injury to hear in pro wrestling, and I'm sure it's probably happened before, but a detached retina, and it just makes it... Things that make you go... Ugh.
His run was not good.
Yeah.
For sure, it was not good.
Real says, funny how the show keeps hyping Jinder as a former WWE champ. His run was very short and forgettable. Don't you hinder the Jinder, the modern day Maharaja.
There was only one reason for his run, and it's because they were trying to get that, opening up to the Indian market at that time.
So absolutely. I think everybody kind of knows that at this point, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's when you had back knee Jinder and everything and then went from being part of 3MB to being 3MB. But we'll get to that because I feel like my pick's going to be interesting here. Okay. But Curtis says, and I will remind people right now we are on a commercial break. But if it's Tuesday, it's NXT. Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
The hardcore chick as if. Yeah. JD is out. Yes, JD showed up. Dragging off for the win, says Damien. Even KJ still watching, taking Ilya. Curtis taking Ilya. So everybody's on the Ilya train.
How can you, like I said, how can you not?
Very true, very true. But so does Ilya fit in NXT? Should he go up to the main roster? Do we get, instead of getting Brock versus Gunther, we get Gunther versus Ilya at WrestleMania 39? My heart beats still.
Well, has he had he hasn't had a NXT championship run yet.
That doesn't always need to happen.
I guess not. It doesn't.
It halfway seems like it's become a precursor, but like I said, if you give me Ilya versus Gunther, Walter, whichever name you decide to call him at WrestleMania 39 instead of just pair that. That's such the antithesis of Brock versus Omos that it's hilarious. But if they just give us that instead of the Brock match, 100%, I'm here for it.
I don't know. It would be a really good match.
Judgment Day saying, I'll be back. I'll be back. You're doing the Arnold now. You're doing the Jackanada. Yeah. Give it to me. Yeah.
I would still love to see Gunther versus Brock, though. I think that would be great.
Oh, well, Gunther's come out and said that that's pretty much his final boss match and everything. That's King Kong versus Godzilla or Godzilla versus Mecha Godzilla, whatever famous movie monster you like.
Yeah, that would be great. The only problem with Brock is that, Brock does what Brock wants to do. So he can really dictate how that match goes.
Oh, absolutely. But
kind of like the Dean Ambrose match where he faced Dean. And
the most probably controversial Brock match, to be honest.
Yeah.
But Steven says, any predictions TK's announcement tomorrow night? Cliff, what do you think?
I'm on board.
I think we already know.
I'm on board with you.
Yeah, I think it's just he's announcing that we have the weekly shows for Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
Unless he's going to challenge to, Ariel Helwani into a cage match and saying, I got you for 3 minutes. I really don't think we're getting any sort of big surprise. I think with Tony Khan, a little bit of he's showed himself to be a mark with the whole Ariel thing. And
I don't know why.
Now he's Krusty the Clown of, wait, I said the quiet part loud and the loud part quiet.
I don't know why, but I would be intrigued by that match. Ariel versus Tony Khan.
Just a glutton for punishment there.
Yeah.
But Steven, not a fan of Brock versus Omos or Brock would beat Gunther. So everybody already given their predictions on that. But we've back from commercial. We've got Trick versus Ilya right now. Everybody's riding the Ilya wave. And we've got JD on commentary as well. And I will remind everyone real quick. I know I've probably said it at least once or twice so far this stream, but we do also have the interview that we had with Cole Radrick premiering on the channel as well. So when you're done here watching us, absolutely be a friend. Go and check that out. And we'll be back here for Wednesday Night Dynamite so we can hear us talk about, and we'll find out what Tony's big announcement is. Then we're back here on Thursday for Impact. We're going to have a Monsters Ball match. You're going to have KJ and Luna Havoc live. And then Friday, triple header, because we've got SmackDown, Rampage, and No Surrender. And then Saturday, you know, we might have a couple of little tricks up our sleeve, a couple of aces in the pocket and everything like that. So that's why you need to be a friend, tell a friend, like, share, and subscribe. Let everybody let you know. Let them know that this is the place for all your wrestling content, and even then some.
Everything. Just everything.
Goddamn, you're smacking the dog shit out of Trick.
Hey, what's
Jack,
up?
what up? TK buys WWE. Just kidding. Well, for the low price, the bargain brand discount, you know, the liquidation going out of business must buy $9 billion. You can buy WWE.
Damn.
Yeah. UFC didn't even cost that much.
No.
Both men
down. WWE make more money than UFC?
Well, so this is when it get no.
No?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know that part, but it gets interesting because we could get into a whole side topic, and maybe the next commercial will break down about, you know, the 9 billions it would take to actually come up with that. Because then you also, if you're someone who already owns the media rights, then you don't make money on that. You're just basically buying yourself out of your own contract. Right. And who's walking around with $9 billion that doesn't live in Saudi Arabia? So you're going to have to get banks involved. You're going to have interest payments. You're going to have multiple people involved. It might honestly be a while. If you buy WWE at this point, it might be a hot minute before you actually see a return profit on it. Two count. And that's my long-winded spiel on economics that I know nothing about. Do not take any sort of financial advice from me. Only wrestling advice. Bye. But Trick right now in control of Ilya.
Yeah.
This has been a hell of a match. I know we've been talking a little bit. A little slow on that.
I've been pretty impressed the past couple of weeks here with the matches.
NXT, when it's not involved in the 80s, 90s sitcom bullshit, is honestly an underrated product. It's just, unfortunately, you have to weave through a lot of BS to get there. Bobby saying, so close. David saying, just Jinder Mahal. Does that mean you're taking him? Why? Don't hinder the Jinder, folks. Ilya hooking up.
There he goes.
I'm still saying, I understand he's had an NXT UK championship reign. He hasn't had an NXT, I guess, US roster title reign. 3 count from Ilya after the big European uppercut. But 100%, I see him more going after the IC title or something like that than, unfortunately, that is the best way to put it, of wasting his time in NXT. Granted, I want to see him versus JD, because if that's at Roadblock, which we'll be here for, or if it's Stand and Deliver, which we'll also be here for, WrestleMania weekend, it's going to be a fantastic match. Gunther versus Ilya, that's just the definition of fight forever, I feel. That's the European KO versus Sami Zayn, which, Christ, that's Canadian, so we don't even have one so far in the U.S.
Yeah, no, I could totally see that happening. It's that European style, though. Like, I don't know. It's just like when Gunther first Sheamus.
Oh, absolutely. Well, that's been another rumor that we might have at WrestleMania is we're getting a hype video for Jinder's championship challenge against Bron later tonight. But yeah, that's another rumor match that we're gonna have at WrestleMania is instead of the Brock Gunther match, we get Drew, Sheamus, and Gunther for the IC title. And it pretty much just becomes just a big beefy boy slapping meat, pause.
Yes,
and
pause.
It also just ends up being, that British strong style, that, wrestle sport kind of style of wrestling, the stuff that even, I guess it might be sacrilege to say as we're watching a WWE show, but when you watch WCW and you saw Fit Finlay versus Steven Regal at the time, those type of matches, they were technical. They set a good baseline for this is professional wrestling.
Yeah. And they lay it in there too. They're not, there's their style. There's like a bit of realism in it, and it makes it, more entertaining that way. I don't know. It's just, that's the style that I prefer, to be honest with you.
Oh, absolutely. It's interesting because I think you and I both prefer that style. And I don't know how you feel about like the Japanese style. I know KJ is a fan of a bit more of like the lucha style outside of, I guess, WWE and everything. So it's just interesting how there's still all those so many different styles that exist beyond what we get here, I guess, in the US.
And when you say that's like, the strong style, the Japanese strong style kind of
right.
Yeah. I mean, again, it incorporates that realism, and I'm always for that, because a lot of, and I don't know if maybe it's because of independent wrestling or whatever, but a lot of it, today's wrestling, it's just, you see, and I probably sound like Jim Cornette.
No, I was gonna say, go ahead. Right now, folks, by the way, we just had a mini Brooks and Dunn bar rescue segment that no one gave a shit about, and we're in commercials. So go ahead. Yeah, preach, my guy. Preach. I want to hear this. Preach.
I hate when you're looking at it and you could tell that they're setting up for the move. It's like, well, dude, you just helped them. Like it just looks so like hokey, like back then in the day, it was just so much smoother, especially the technical wrestling. Obviously my guy is Bret Hart, so he's one of the best wrestlers ever.
You very much like the technical style then of the
best
like
is, Chris
the best
Benoit,
the best there ever will be.
Yeah, Bret Hart's Chris Benoit, like, and I know that name is probably terrible.
I was gonna say I don't pretend you didn't say that. Keep it moving. We'll talk about a different
Look, what he did was shitty, but
anyways, Bret Hart, good wrestler, good guy, hates Goldberg.
Yes, hates Goldberg. There you go. Things in common.
Small Mark asking if we've ever watched Dub X Dub. He's talking about Wrestler Maggot, which sounds like a Slipknot fan, but I've watched Dub X Dub. That's how I got introduced to Gunther. That's how I got introduced to Ilya when it was the Zaizun three-way dance with him, Ilya, and Bad Bones. That's really, I kind of gravitated around I guess kind of halfway when I came back to pro wrestling, which everyone has that moment they leave and come back. Outside of the WWE, I gravitated towards the UK stuff and the Japanese stuff just because it went back to that old school style of it. They're literally kicking their fucking teeth in. And
yeah.
But Mick, what up? They're saving Dragunov for the NXT title, but he doesn't need it. They don't need it. I feel like it's so funny to me that everyone except for the actual NXT champion right now, I feel doesn't need to be NXT champion. At least that's coming after it. Of JD, it might help him a bit to be NXT champion, but he also was Cruiserweight champion. Ilya, NXT UK champion, doesn't need it. Jinder, already former WWE champion, doesn't exactly need it. I think it would be interesting to have Jinder with the belt, and I'll still save that in my pocket. And even Carmelo, I don't think needs the NXT title. He pretty much made himself a star in already NXT with how he got over the North American title. he made that the relevant title.
Yeah. Can someone explain to me what happened to Cameron Grimes? I mean, before I because obviously I took like a break from the NXT, but
No,
I
you're
remember
fine.
watching it.
Most people did.
He was going to the moon. He was.
Well, some people might surmise, did he maybe dye his hair grayish blonde and put on a mask and throw in a cross earring and just started hanging out with Bray Wyatt?
That's No, because that guy looks too big to be Cameron Grimes.
Maybe he's out there with platform shoes. You don't know. Shoky ducky quack quack.
Yeah, that's true too. But even the stature doesn't look like it's.
Trust me, he's in the negative zone along with Shanky, along with Bobby Roode, Miro, even from AEW, somehow in there. There's a whole. You could almost come up with another promotions roster with the people that just aren't used on TV. I feel. That might be an interesting video to try and do.
Yeah, no, I just don't get it, because you have a handful of these talented guys and you're not doing anything with them. That drives me crazy.
Oh, so right now we're getting, well, I guess going back to the Japanese strong style, we're getting already filtered and edited like an Instagram model video from earlier today of Miko Satomura training in the performance center and Roxy jumped in. Huh?
Yep.
Just why? This is just, you could do so much more of just make them look like a badass. Why are you trying to show that, oh, she's still training? Like, we get that she's young. She's being a fucking talent. Just, you don't need to see her go back through like training camp and show that she's, the blue chip prospect. We already get it.
Yeah.
She's their fucking champion. Jason says, Miko's strong style fashion. Why? Who do you want Gallus to face at Stand and Deliver for the NXT Tag Team Championships, Nick and Cliff? I'll let you go first, sir. So, are you going Chase you?
Maybe. But they've lost a little steam, though.
Yeah, true. But so just now on the video, we're exposing the champion because we have to be continued as Miko's. Oh, where are you going? That was just the warm up. But I think we see them versus Indusher because
yes,
that's just two teams of big beefy boys that will just go to fucking town on each other. Pause. I know Steve said War Raiders. Well, no, they're the Viking Raiders with Valhalla. So Tyler Banks, Tyler Bate in the house. Yes, Tyler Bate coming out right now. Miko Satomura versus Roxanne Perez, NXT Championship, March 7th at Roadblock. It's going to be a hell of a match. Yes, we will be here live for that as well because we're here for anything and everything, folks. God damn it. We've got Tyler Bate out right now cutting a promo. Yeah, I think Indusher versus Gallus, if they hold the tag titles till then, 100% of, like I said, I think we could see maybe some faction warfare when it comes to NXT. But again, I'm going to save that. You can have that.
Yeah.
Well, and so do you think a guy like Tyler Bate needs the NXT championship? Because he's a guy that I feel should be on the main roster.
But if he's in the main roster, where would you put him? Like, what would you do with him?
IC title, US title, mid-card title, 100%. You give me, again, Gunther has had fantastic matches with all these guys for the fucking UK title. You give me Butch versus Gunther again. You give me Tyler Bate versus Gunther again. You give me Gunther versus Ilya again. They're all fantastic matches, and I'm not saying that what we might get, with Drew and Sheamus or what have you at WrestleMania, it wouldn't be a fantastic match. But if that's your fucking division, Christ, at that point, especially if it's your Intercontinental title, you don't have the European title anymore. Make it have that international feel. Make it feel different than the U.S. title. That's when the mid-card titles in WWE made probably the most sense, is when they felt different from each other.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, does he need the NXT title to answer your question? I don't think so.
Fair enough.
I don't.
But does having the UK title equal having the, I guess, main roster title? Oh, and we've got Schism. I almost want to call it Sanity. Out right now. Big, strong boys and girls, he said. Why? That's why I said them versus Gallus. There you go. Bobby, I'll be back. Fair enough. Tyler for the IC title. Riddle versus Gunther. Oh, God. Will Riddle be back for Mania? Schism interrupting title. Tyler, yes. And we've got Ava Raine, the one that I guess I'm championing of, to me, the Rhea Ripley of NXT. That sounds awkward as shit to say, but I can make it make sense, I swear. But we've got Schism right now surrounding Tyler Bate.
Chase Hughes is going to come out.
You think?
Well, it hasn't. What's her name? I forgot her
name.
Hell,
she got, snuffed out by Ava Raine.
Yeah, and they interrupted the match that last time, so I think that they're going to come out.
Okay.
Allies, maybe? Common enemy kind of thing?
Fair enough. I'm still upset that that's what they did to the grizzled young veterans, is they threw them in there. So we've got Schism right now circling Tyler Bate. Oh, you called it! See? This is, like I said, I told you, this man's enrolling in Chase U in the spring semester.
Told you.
So are we going to get an 8-man tag match? Fuck right off. But, folks, we are in another commercial break. As, like I said, right there, Cliff called it 100% of Chase U comes out to run off Schism. So we might be getting Tyler Bate and Chase U versus Schism, because we were supposed to get Chase U versus the Dyad. So we might be getting an 8-man tag. Boy, how are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing great, man.
What do you think of NXT so far? We're about just past the first half hour in. How you feeling?
Minus the little, those little, I don't even know what you want to call them, like the little in-betweens.
Fair enough.
Okay. I mean, the Island match is really good. I enjoyed that thoroughly. Hasn't been much going on, but now we have this match, and I'm pretty excited for it because, Chase has grown on me. So,
well, like I said, I think you very much we were here last week, and you were coming at me and KJ of like, no. Well, what about this? Your score should be higher. You were the advocate. You were the flag bearer.
I was.
For NXT, so you're going to be the flag bearer for Chase U here.
I'm going to play it by ear only because we have to see how the rest of the show goes before I can advocate for it. If I feel like if it's better than what you're giving it, then maybe I'll advocate a little bit more. But we'll see. I'm a realist too. Okay?
I mean, we do still have the main event coming up. We've got Jinder Mahal versus Bron Breakker for the NXT Championship. And I will also remind people, because I think it's probably going to actually kick off in about a half hour here. So, but we do also, once we get off here, there is still also, we have our interview with Cole Ratrick premiering as well on the channel. So go ahead and check that out once you're done here and everything. you know, and had to make sure there was no heat or anything like that. So, but no, absolutely, I haven't heard it yet, but it's going to be a fantastic interview. Everything I've heard about it, I've seen the little teasers and everything like that. Absolutely, folks, you don't want to miss it.
Yeah.
But so I guess here we'll get into our predictions right now for the main event because I don't know whether we're getting a regular tag match, we're getting an 8-man tag match of who are you taking for the main event? Are you taking Bron Breakker? Or are you taking Jinder Mahal?
I'm taking Bron.
Okay. Safe bet.
The only way I feel like a Jinder could win is just by like a DQ kind of thing, or like just kind of like a lame victory, maybe like the most devastating move in the world,
the surprise roll up.
Yeah.
So you notice how I knew that right off the top of my head.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So something lame like that, but not a clean win for sure. But I think Bron is going to take it.
Okay, so you think maybe Indusher gets involved and we get a DQ finish that way?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I don't see what it does for Jinder actually winning clean. Like I don't know what it does for anybody.
Okay. I see your point. Your point is very valid, sir.
Yeah.
Small Mark, following wrestlers' career from NXT to main roster, does it help to root for them more than an indie darling rising up the ranks? Small Mark, that's a really interesting question, honestly, really interesting worded. But so, yeah, we are just getting the tag team, but we've got Tyler Bate and Thea Hale at ringside. We've got Ava Rain and Joe Gacy at ringside as well. So give us your predictions, folks, of whether you've got Chase U, and I know who this man's going for, so I guess I have to take the dyad just out of being difficult. And because the Grills of the Young Veterans wouldn't lose to Chase U, but I think the dyad might, but I'll take the dyad. I'm sure you're taking Chase U.
Yeah, definitely.
But no, it's interesting of thinking about pulling for somebody through the Indies versus when they're on NXT. I think that's two different levels. If you pull for somebody, and again, prime example of somebody that very much we're fans of on the channel and everything like that, and I'm glad that we got the chance to talk to and everything of Cole Radrick and all that. But to see what they're doing on the non-big two, on one hand, you almost kind of halfway hope that they get to that level or to that point if that's what they want to do, versus somebody that's already on NXT. You're already in that system, so now you're already here at the dance. I want you to continue on beyond that. WWE where careers go to die. Not true. I don't feel.
Not true.
They're saying, hey Jack, well right now I have not Heath Slater and Andre Chase in the ring. Clinton says, actually, I think Ricochet did some things on the Indies that WWE could never let him do today because he was way better than he's given credit for being. I will agree with you on that, Clinton, because his matches with Will Ospreay is what made me a fan of Ricochet, 100%, and it made me a fan of Will Ospreay. Those are matches you can't duplicate. There is very much a WWE style, very much a WWE product, and that's why at times WWE isn't for everybody. But I wasn't sure exactly. I think I reached the end of the road and wasn't sure where I was going there. But yeah, no, Ricochet is fantastic. A Ricochet. I mean, I gave the man an Irish nickname.
Ricochet.
Yeah, him and Brawny the Straw Man.
Yeah.
Dale taking Schism for the win. Jack, what up? Ron Breakker wins. Jinder doesn't make sense to me why he's in NXT. He's a past world champion. Why would he want a developmental title? Because what has he done since then, though? What have I done for you lately? He's slidden down the card. It's just the same way of Apollo Crews is a former IC title, and he's in NXT. And no one really questions that too much. It's a way of no one even fully questioned Ziggler when he went down there, and Ziggler's a former world champ as well. So I think a nice way if you have it as like a swap out system to where they can pull up guys and they can maybe if guys have kind of need a little bit different shine or something like that or need to just kind of they might be more better suited to get people over than trying to have an actual main feud. Let them run in NXT. It shows how they can go with main roster guys. So,
but it's almost as if like these guys that get called down to NXT that were on the main roster is pretty much like for as like an enhancement talent kind of thing, like just to help the newer talent, get called up or like.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Duke Hudson with a suplex throwing one member of the Dyad into the other there. David saying careers don't go to die in WWE. They go to be criticized, scrutinized, and told what they've done for 10 plus years is wrong, even though they made money on the independents. And then Boss following up with, "Oh, my brother, testify." Devon, get the tables. 2 count. Finn Balor was NXT champ on a Universal champ, then went down to be a champ. It started his Prince gimmick or Prince XE, I guess. Yeah. Finn's a great example of somebody who had climbed the top of the mountain and got a little bit of a boost enough to send him back up the other way by having a little run in NXT. Yeah, Apollo, a sneeze. Do we see a sneeze tonight?
Never gonna let that one down. Never. Never.
Tope Suicide on a Duke Hudson there.
They did him wrong with that name and that gimmick.
They did him wrong on multiple occasions at multiple times and everything like that. From Raw Underground to he was at one point supposed to be involved with Corey Jade, and then that just never materialized. So
yeah.
Speaking of Devon, while the way we are in a commercial break, and I'm not comparing Devon to a commercial break, but speaking of Devon, I'm surprised his boys haven't been signed anywhere yet. Touche. Devon hasn't signed anywhere yet to really work backstage as far as I know either. I'm surprised WWE let him walk, but they're also, if they're going to try and get $9 billion, and that's a B, folks, billion, I feel like they're trying to, leave nothing but the bolts when it comes to selling off this company.
I don't know who's going to buy that for that much.
Sony.
You would think, but that's also
no one wants that. No one wants that. No one.
No.
Strike that from the record. No one wants that.
Nobody wants that.
Disney. Show me Disney. Like Family Feud.
Yeah.
Shinsuke and Bray, among others, are 50-50 wrestlers now, and nobody will dethrone Roman Reigns. Well, we'll see at WrestleMania. Right now, it's Cody Rhodes, adrenaline in my soul, who has the chance to dethrone.
It's written on the wall, man. It's written on the wall. Cody's going to win.
But what if he doesn't?
Well, then shit.
Right. That's the thing is, I feel like a lot of people felt that way with Sami Zayn going into Montreal of Sammy's going to win. But what if he doesn't?
Yeah, Cody Rhodes is more believable, I guess, because the whole.
Oh, it's very hard to pick against Cody. I will agree with you on that. But I guess as a disciple of Heyman, I guess I need to kind of, just do that little bit that might screw with you in your head.
That's true.
But
if it's not Cody, then who else? Who else is there?
Jey Uso?
That'd be interesting.
Perhaps. Mixed in, hey Nick, where's the other cohorts? Well, once Oop, other way. One's beside me right there. His name's Cliff. The other one's CJ. He's on a pause. And the other one's KJ. You know, the Iron Man, even he needed a break tonight and everything. So, you know, sometimes, you know, you need to just step away and, you know, actually rest and recuperate. Yeah, no, we're always watching. Effervescent. Bye. And not Evanescence for all you fucking 90s kids out there. Jeff Bezos will get beaten for the title by Bad Bunny. Oh, God. No, he's a T9000 or whatever it was from Terminator. So just be like, yeah, give me the title. Yeah, do it. No, he'll be the one that from T2 that fucking morphs into like liquid metal and shit like that. That's Bezos if he was a Terminator. The only wrestling channel, folks, that not only is paid attention to by the wrestlers that watch that we cover, but is also breaking down and comparing billionaires to Terminators.
Yeah.
But we're back from commercial break as I've got tagged in a schism and a hot tag to Andre Chase.
There you go.
I want to say Fox buys WWE, but that they might do that as part of Disney because Fox is owned by Disney.
Yeah.
Jake, what up? I will take this minute to remind everybody, go chat with Jake and everything, as well as us and everything when we're not live. We do got the Discord link in the video or link in the description. We also do got the merch store. We got anything and everything, folks. Big things popping, little things stopping. And we got the interview with Cliff later tonight. And that's, like I said, that's still not even the only, you know, ace we might have up our sleeve. So absolutely. I've been saying it, big things popping, little things stopping. I already been told you, if free don't cost you nothing, you need to hit the subscribe button. You need to ring that bell notification. But you need to tell anybody and everybody, this is the place you need to be. Fastest growing channel on YouTube right now. And like I said, even the wrestlers that we cover and everything are tuning in and paying attention to what we're saying. Why?
That's right.
I mean, ESPN by WWE. Again, owned by Disney. Disney's a conglomerate. As Chase, you going up top. Froggy crossbody there for a 2 count.
1, 2, nope.
MLW is on after NXT. Yes, Steve, we've thought about doing the MLW and everything, and it's still in the works, I guess. I'll leave it at that. Of the Reels isn't always the most accessible thing to try and get, and it's 10 p.m. on a Tuesday. So I mean, if you raise the outcry and everything like that, maybe we'll try and see what we can do and everything. I mean, you guys, you know, threw up the battle flags and everything, and we ended up starting to cover NXT again with, you know, our lovely special guest Luna Havoc. So if you raise up the battle flag enough, I guess, there for MLW, maybe we'll see what we can do here. Russian legs week. Bezos would have a clan of robotic cleaning devices advertising Cyber Monday circling him at all times. Roomba power.
There you go.
Instead of people power, we have Roomba power. Why? That would be interesting. That would be. Oh, as Thea Hale right now is cowering away from Ava Rain like she just saw the fucking boogeyman. And like I said, this gives me Rhea Ripley vibes of Ava Rain has helped, whether you want to admit it or not, just because she's The Rock's daughter. But she's helped get Schism over as they hit their double team finisher for a 3 count on Duke Hudson, as Andre Chase was distracted protecting Thea Hale. And now she's holding her, or is it it's not a megaphone, the cone or whatever where you shout into when you're a cheerleader. She's consoling that of, I want my mommy. But so Dyad picks up the win.
He's a little extra.
Yeah, well, she's like, what is it? The Squirrels character there from Over the Hedge that like has like fucking Cool Whip or whatever, and thinks and pretends he's got rabies and shit like that. That's fucking Thea Hale. Just this of everyone's seen the previews for Tony Khan Bear coming out soon. That's Thea Hale. I feel like a little bit of just the woman doesn't stop. She is a one person battery of energy. I like the. I'm not saying I don't like her, but still, at the same time, she is a bit extra. Buzzing, what up? Shout out my guy. 2-0. 2-0. I don't even know what I'm at right now. Don't take on too many things because your charm will spread too thin. Oh, thank you, boss. Well, I mean, at least with me, I mean, I am big, so I mean, maybe I got some charm to spread around here, but we'll see. We'll see.
Oh, look, it's Caveman.
Yeah. What did you call him? Of Caveman Edge or something like that?
Caveman Edge, yeah.
Von Wagner and Robert Stone looking like he robbed the fucking Riddler here. With a fucking checkerboard suit. Meeting up with Tony D'Angelo and Halfstack here. So are we going to get Vaughn versus Tony? These are two guys who need an NXT title run or something like that before, or at least a big title run before they move up. I didn't realize he was your daddy too. Yogesh, I think Bron will squash Jinder. Interesting. Going to happen eventually. Duke leaving Chase U. We thought that's been going to happen for a hot minute here.
Yeah.
But so we're setting up Von Wagner versus Tony D'Angelo, I guess. Oh, we've got the Gulak Academy right now backstage of Drew Gulak and Charlie Dempsey. What's up?
How long before Wagner turns on Stone there?
Should have been happened.
Yeah.
Vaughn needs something before any big runs, honestly. Yeah, 100%. Well, I'm surprised, too, that the former Robbie E from Impact, that they bring him in as Robert Stone. He can go in the ring still. They've just pegged him as a manager. So are we going to have the Frank the Tank redemption story? And if you didn't know Charlie Dempsey was William Regal's kid, you can tell by his fucking facial expressions when he's selling.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Because goddamn, all he's missing is if his hair was a little bit longer and a little bit wavier, he's Regal.
100%.
But we've got JC Jane coming out right now. She's taking on Indy Hartwell. So, folks, give us your predictions for that match and why is it, unfortunately, the Heartbreak Chick? The Dawn versus Von Wagner tonight. Interesting. Gulak and Dempsey, not a good fit. If they fixed up Gulak a little bit, I could see it working and everything. It's a little bit of, stretch them. Like I said, it's the Gulak Academy of kind of what
Indy
they're supposed to be doing with the Alpha Academy of it's more of that Olympic style wrestling. If Gulak and Dempsey are more of we're just the submission guys like what they had with Timothy Thatcher and whatnot, I could see it working.
I'm going to say, what's it called? Indy Hartwell wins this one.
Oh, really?
Interference. Gigi.
Why? So you think Gigi returns and interferes tonight?
Could. Possibly, potentially.
Fair enough. I think that would be the only interference.
What's the biggest sting to lose to the person who's lost every match?
To lose to the Brian Myers?
He was like almost every match that I've seen her in for the past, how many weeks?
Yeah, that's true.
She's lost like every match. And that would be a sting to lose to the person who's lost every match. So,
well, you're not alone here. I mean, we've got diversifying picks here. We've got JC Jane for the one. While, by the way, we are in a commercial break, folks. But JC Jane for the win. Here we go. The so-called heartbreak chick. Yeah. Picking JC. JC for the win. JC for the win. Why does JC have the Triple H crosses on her Titantron? Because she's just discount Shawn Michaels in a female body. Z Buzz though is he's going with you of taking Indy.
All right, so I got at least
Chris
someone.
is saying GG returns as well. So you see, I hope Indy beats JC. So see, you're already right there. 3 people right in a row on your side.
Okay, all right.
And then we go right into Ciampa should go to AEW, team with Thatcher, and join MCC Moxley Combat Club. No, they'd be CCC, Cincinnati Combat Club. Or even Claudio Combat Club.
More weeks away. Maybe.
Perhaps. Well, it'd be a chance for her to try and shine. That's really what it is. Of right now, this is JC's really kind of step out from the shadows moment here, I feel. She really needs to show what she can do as a solo act.
Yeah.
Wow, where's Cora been? She hadn't been wrestling in a while. I think she wrestled either last week or the week before. Trust me, I think Cora was one of those people that was on every week of you can do with a little bit of some time away. Same thing with, I think, Grayson Waller's having a week off and all of that as well. So sometimes you don't need to see them every single week.
Yeah.
But so as we are nearing through the first hour of NXT, how are you feeling? How are you thinking about NXT so far? What do you think so far on tonight, Cliff?
It's not bad. When there's action, the action's good. The only thing that brings it down is the crap that's in between. Like I don't love the little pre-recorded stuff that they have, and
that's what I was saying. Of if you fast forward through the Campy's 80s, like, am I watching a rerun of Magnum PI or something like that, or Bar Rescue, what have you? Or now we've got Soruka, so maybe Baywatch. But if you skip through that stuff and you get to actually the in-ring stuff, fantastic. It's an underrated show, I feel. You have a lot of shit you have to wade through, though.
Yeah.
She was a skater girl. She said, see you later. How do you feel about Soruka? Because I don't get the hype, the push. I get she's very athletic, but that's it. I can't tell you another thing about her.
She's athletic. There's no really character development. It's just like another athletic person. That's
right.
What I mean? Like, yeah, I don't get it.
She's out here looking like goddamn. What this looks like is if you ever played like the Tony Hawk games and then you get the videos afterwards, if you see like Rodney Mullen and Chad Muska and all of that, and when they're doing the like tricks and everything, and it's got like Rage Against the Machine or CKY or something playing. This is what it feels like of what we're watching right now with Soruka, of her trying to pull off a handstand, hand flip into a somersault, land on the board, I guess. Like, yeah. She had like 3 matches. Yeah, fair enough. And her finisher is called the Soul Snatcher, which is provocative. I keep saying Soul is smaller than Lions. Fair. Well, it's going to be a hot minute before we see Nikita Lyons, Nikita here. But so this is how we're starting the top of the hour. I mean, if you're really trying to put something behind JC Jane, you're starting the top of the hour with JC Jane versus, like you said, Indy Hartwell, who's going to just kind of job out.
Then bring her to the main roster.
She needs to be there with Dexy, who ain't doing shit either.
Yeah.
JC Jane always looks like the third, like, mean girlfriend in every like 90s like high school type movie. She looks like the one that's, stop trying to make fetch work. Biggest heel women's the biggest heel women's division is NXT. That's not a bad shout, honestly. There's very few big prominent baby faces in the NXT women's division. I'll give you that, Damien. Her finisher is insane and unique. It's provocative. No one knows what it means, but it gets the people going.
It's just a flippy RKO.
But it is a hell of an impressive move to try and pull off.
It is.
It's a bit, though, like, oh, so we are getting tonight. We're getting Tony D'Angelo versus Von Wagner. So you get your Cro-Magnon edge there. But it's one of those it's a finisher that, like the Eclipse, of if you hit it, it looks impressive as shit. But if you miss it, you look like a dumbass.
Yeah. So pretty much you can never miss it.
Right. So give us your predictions, folks, if you haven't already. We've got JC Jane versus Indy Hartwell, and I will also mention I've seen plenty of comments and everything like that. I've seen about 35 people or so kicking around right now. If you did leave a comment and I didn't get to it or anything like that, or if you just want to help support the channel and everything, there is the super chat, the super stickers. If you want to get your point across to make sure, we see it and everything. Now that Hank Walker isn't with Drew Gulak anymore, they can finally pair him up with Brooks and Dunn.
And that's Nost Malone too. So.
Yeah, we haven't seen Nost Malone tonight.
Nost Malone.
But it just feels like, so then what do we call them? Yellowstone or something like that. It just becomes like something you would see on a Lifetime fucking movie, I feel. Roxy is a big baby face in NXT. Yes, but name two more after her. Nikita, she's on the shelf. So name two more after her on the NXT women's roster. I'll challenge you to do that.
Well, now
come on in to fight. Yeah, we've got a big long headlock right now.
Gigi now is a baby face? Would you say that Gigi is a baby face now?
Yeah, but we haven't seen her yet, so we can't. Alleged can't confirm. We aren't like some podcasts and everything like that, or some personalities in wrestling and everything like that just kind of say some things before we confirm them here. JC Jane saying it's all about me is copyright because I'm pretty sure that's Emma's catchphrase. Well, they're in the same company. I mean, it's not like she's coming out there and saying, what about me? What about JC?
At this point, everything nowadays is almost like a copyright.
Yeah. That's when you wait until we get stuff in public domain and how you get like Winnie the Pooh horror movies and shit like that. Public domain, bitch. Right now, Indy would, she had JC up for Death Valley Driver, but into the turnbuckle. Wendy Chu is another. Oh, I wish KJ was here to try and hear you defend of Wendy Chu. I mean, if she's number 2 on your list of baby faces in the NXT division, and this is no disrespect to her as the performer, it's her as the character, you're going to bring it down. Bring it way down. Oh, I didn't want to click on that one. Larry, that's aggressive. Well, Sol Ruka will be a face if you give it time. Right. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. That's what I feel like what it is half the time with NXT. So, yeah, is that her? She's literally screaming at Indy's face right. Hey, GG! The wagon mobile arrived. Gigi shows up, and so, hey, you literally, Cliff. All right, I'm just starting to call you Nostradamus of NXT. That's your new nickname here on the channel because you've been 2 for 2 so far in matches here. You're
Bro,
calling Gigi showing
don't-
up and her winning by TKO or
Don't
DQ.
doubt me here. Never doubt me.
Like I said, the Nostradamus of NXT. But so Gigi runs off JC James. So Indy picks up the win by DQ. So we've got Gigi back. And now we're again watching the earlier today of Roxanne Perez and why did I already forget her goddamn name? Of Miko Satomura. There we go. I think I said that right. This is just why? Anyways. Larry's saying type it. What am I saying? I didn't text it, but this was my outcome of the match. Well, it shoulda, woulda, coulda again. See, I had an idea for Facebook, and then Zuckerberg just showed up in my dreams and just took it from me. That's that type of bullshit you're on. Just like Bischoff says, heels put butts in the seats. Yeah, and how that worked out when Shivani read out that line. I think that was literally the final nail in the coffin when it came to WCW. When he uttered that exact phrase. But we've got Gallus coming up next versus Idris Enofe and Malik Blade in a non-title match. How do you feel about that of you have to beat the champion to then beat them for the championship? That's even better. That's your name now. From
I love it. I love it.
Cliftradamus. 100%. So, folks, absolutely. Like the video, subscribe, because it's going to be me and Cliftradamus, I guess, every Tuesday on NXT. And like I've said before, as we're in commercial break, we're here covering anything and everything when it comes to pro wrestling. We're here Wednesday for AEW and TK's big announcement. And it's just he doesn't like Ariel Helwani. That's his big announcement. And then we're going to be back here for Thursday with Impact with Luna Havoc. Friday, where you've got a triple header with No Surrender, Rampage, and SmackDown. And we've still got plenty of aces up our sleeves and everything like that. The weekend is still a wild card. So absolutely, folks. Nobody does it like we do. And like I've said, and proof positive with the interview that we've got with Cole Radrick that's airing tonight as well. Even the wrestlers that we're covering are watching us. So why aren't you, folks? But yes, no, I love that from now on. Cliftradamus.
There you go.
Right? I feel like you need to go and change that right now as your name of just to Cliftradamus. Yes, Jack. Hell yeah. Yes. Gallus Boys is here. Why are they doing this to Roxy? She doesn't need this. Absolutely my sentiments there, Steve. It should be Theory's title versus Cena here at WrestleMania. If Cena loses, he gets his head shaved. Well, he's already halfway there. So, I mean, is that an inside advantage there? If Cena's already got the giant bald spot he's trying to cover up, is he halfway there? I don't know how I'd feel about that. Gallus for the win. Here's a question. Where's Joe Coffey? Absolutely a great question. And I think that as we're in commercial, I'll give my prediction for the main event. So I think potentially Jinder's going to win. Don't hinder the Jinder. We could see very much of a bloodline style fashion, I feel, with him and Indusher. And right there, too, of where's Joe Coffey been? But we've got Gallus of what if we get even a title match, or if we get a fatal four-way of, I know we're setting up a bit for Bron and Carmelo, but throw Jinder and Joe Coffey into that mix, and that's a spicy meatball. So I guess I'm taking the outsider's edge here of I think Jinder has a chance. For the same reason, too, everybody's mentioning of he's a former WWE champion and all of that. And we've already seen Bron lose the title once, and we had people chanting Bron Breakker sucks last week. Go ahead. No,
I don't know what it would do though. For him to win.
It validates the title a bit. It's a bit like when Ziggler won it, I feel.
I know
it's not great, but it's do we keep though going with Bron Breakker with Lowell Breakker wins?
I just don't understand, like, what's it called? Like, why, people are saying that, he's an ex-WWE champion. Yeah, sure, but that doesn't mean much. Not with.
But even then, still, fair enough. He's still a main event name or a main roster name. Do you not think that it might be more interesting to see Braun have to challenge versus, like I said, if it's just low Braun wins? When's Breakker really been challenged? The one time he was challenged, he lost the belt. And he's already lost it and had to win it back. So there's nothing saying he can't do it again. And he maybe has a couple reigns with the belt. I think Braun might be one of the weaker people that could move up to the main roster right now, if I'm being honest. If you put him right now and you have him aiming at Roman, which is where, if you're a former NXT, that's where you should be going, he gets eaten alive. You're dropping him into a Shark Tank.
I agree with that.
So that's where I feel on that. And another heel, we've got Zoe Starks, who's she's turned herself into a badass on NXT and very much has been one that people have talked about, if not should be on the main roster.
Yeah.
Does Jinder really move the needle? No. Does Braun really move the needle? No. Like I said, last week we had Bron Breakker sucks chance of he's getting potentially into that Cena territory of
being stale.
He's kind of always just one of he always holds the title. So where do we go from there? But we've got Gallus versus Malik Blade and Idris Enofe in a non-title match. So, folks, give us your predictions. Who you taking, sir?
Gallus.
Fair enough.
But I think the other guys are going to give them a run for their money.
Well, I was going to say, I guess I'll be the again, the contrarian, even though I very much was advocating for Gallus because it is a beat the champion to then face them for the championship. I will take Malik Blade and Idris Enofe. And in halfway part, because I've become a fan of Idris Enofe just because of how he trolled everyone thinking that he got the WWE logo tattooed on his chest.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Larry on a different level here of Picton Galactus. We're not talking Marvel. Braun is very one-dimensional. He doesn't have layers to his character. Yes, Braun is not an ogre or an onion. He does not have layers. What about Parfait? Everybody like Parfait. Gallus for the win. Picking Gallus. So see, Gallus boys. So see, everybody's rocking with you with Gallus. Oh. Big uppercut right there.
There you go.
And so we're just past an hour into NXT, and we've got Malik Blade and Idris Enofe versus Gallus. We've still got Tony D'Angelo versus Von Wagner. We've still got Jinder Mahal versus Bron Breakker for the NXT Championship.
I feel like they're incorporating more wrestling, more matches.
Oh, absolutely. It's just like I said, we've said it we beat this drum all night of the actual in-ring stuff is fantastic. It's the backstage stuff that's a little lost amongst the weeds there, I feel.
Yeah.
Oh, and who in the Rudy Blue, how are you? we have a cake being brought out by what I initially thought was Pretty Deadly, or potentially
That's what I thought it was. Who the hell is
younger versions of Pretty Deadly. But so, oh God, we're getting the like Divas Championship spot here of someone's going through the cake. Oh, and we've still got Ivy Nile versus Alba Fire. Jesus, too many matches. That means some of these are going to go pretty quick here, I feel, unfortunately. If we even still get that match. WWE signed Colby Carino and changed Carl Frederick's name to Eddie Thorpe, making his debut against Dante Chen, NXT Level Up. Fair enough. And I haven't seen the official news to where they signed Colby Carino yet. I think that that's still, at least from what I've seen, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I've just always seen it still allegedly. And they fucking missed their tag team finisher. Jinder versus Breaker tonight. Main event. Yes. But Bobby again with so close. It looks like it's Pretty Deadly at least causing the distraction of they probably at least sent out the cake if it's not them bringing it out. Oh, and that's over. That's all she wrote, folks, as Gallus pick up the 1, 2, 3. So Gallus makes short work of Malik Blade and Idris Ofe of, I guess, Social Gathering, as they've been called on the channel. And surprisingly, no one went through the cake. So we didn't get the, early 2000s diva spot of somebody's got to take a, face plant into the cake or something. Ray, thank you very much, my guy. Absolutely.
Got another one.
I don't think you sent a message, but absolutely. Thank you. Everything 100% helps support the channel. And now we've got happy anniversary with the cake getting presented to Gallus. So your 2-year anniversary. Oh, and so the cake handlers do the cake spot. Pause. 2-year anniversary of losing the NXT titles to Pretty Deadly. The only thing is that was NXT UK and who watched NXT UK? Show of hands. I know there's only a few. Pretty Deadly show up on our wheeling chairs, and by God Almighty, if these two have should have not been the maximum male models, I don't know professional wrestling. Goddamn, I thought they were wearing outfits like fucking Dumb and Dumber there with the matching tuxedos. But they halfway out here looking like the Spice Girls. Where's New Day? Back to the main roster. Yes, I believe so.
Get up ever.
Cake in their faces. Yes. Well, it's going to turn into the student versus the master type of match between who? Matt?
Maybe Duke and Chase?
Maybe. Oh. Are we talking Gallus versus Pretty Deadly? I don't see that connection, but maybe. What do you think the Miz present is from Maurice? What's he going to announce next week? Well, if you watched our Raw stream, which, by the way, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and check that out. But I think it's either they're pregnant again, or that what did I even think on Monday? There was something. Oh, they were going to renew their vows at WrestleMania. That's the only two things I thought it was going to be. KJ's out here joking around saying, I thought that, they were saying that he thought Miz got pregnant. He's saying divorce papers. No, he's out there looking like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with I've got a golden ticket. They didn't win the titles yet. Who didn't? Already got that one, but so I'm getting a video replay right now of Apollo Crews and Dabba-Kato Dama saying, I need to hurt you. Oh, so they are at least acknowledging the whole connection from them being Commander of Sneeze and everything. So, because they did show a little bit of a replay during that. So we've got Tony D'Angelo and Stacks coming out, or half Stacks, as I like to call them. So we've got the Not Sopranos coming out right now, taking on Von Wagner. And again, we literally went from, well, no, we went into a video package, but I was about to say, it felt like we went from commercial right into another commercial. Parts unknown. I think you're farthest from the first here.
So many commercials, man.
I can see Bron losing, then lose again at next big show, and then he'll be main roster after Mania. So you think that they just completely kind of take him out of the title picture? Honestly, I could halfway see it but then again, if they move him up, then he goes into a mid-card title scene. He doesn't go off the main roster or main title or anything like that. Von Wagner for the win. As the child of divorced parents when I was 10, I don't find that funny. Okay, Larry. Well, I was the divorced child of parents at 3. So if we're playing a pissing match here, but easy, my guy. Von Wagner for the win. I think The Miz will be the host of WrestleMania. That's honestly not a bad shout. I didn't think about that. That's not a bad shout, especially because it's in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Do we get David Arquette showing up?
No, not.
No, David Arquette. Got the Geico Caveman Von Wagner for the win.
I would like to agree with you guys, but I don't think he's gonna win.
You're taking the Italian on me. Well, then again, this is kind of an Italian standoff of who can get to it first. Well, no,
hear me out though, because I think that they're building up this like frustration storyline with him. Like he's always losing the ones that he should be winning, kind of deal. So I think it's gonna eventually lead him to blow up to the point where he's going to take it out on Robert Stone.
Fair enough.
That's where I think. And remember, I am Cliftradamus.
Cliftradamus there. So
I got to get the name right.
Right. So I guess I'm going against Cliftradamus here, and I got to be the contrarian. So I'll take Caveman Edge. I'll take Von Wagner.
All right.
To big up the win, because as much as I like Tony, as much as I thought they were even going to maybe give him really a North American title push or anything like that, they haven't kind of really done a whole lot with him. So as much as I hate to go against the family and everything, I think I'm going to have to take Von Wagner. Tony has really fallen since Santos group call-up. Fair enough. Again, valid point. 50-50 split between the two. Dijak cost Tony the win. Interesting. Yeah, do we get the Dijakinator? Yeah, do it. Stacks going to attack Tony eventually. Oh, dissension. I don't know about that. Where does he go then? And then he ends up being in AEW on dark matches. But we are still in commercial break right now, folks. So I will remind you, we have the Wrestling for Life Network. If you haven't done so already, be a friend, tell a friend, tell everybody that you know about pro wrestling that we are here killing it. And we will also, like I said, airing tonight. After this, after you're done this stream right here, go and check out our interview with Cole Radrick. I haven't even seen it yet, and I'm excited to go and watch it. And, me and Cole might have taken, some umbrage and not the Harry Potter character to some things that I might have said and everything. So absolutely tune into that. You already got that one. I want to see Dijak versus Tony D'Angelo. That would be a very good match. Oh, and we've got, oh, this is meta. We've got the streamer Stevie 4D, Stevie Turner interrupting NXT right now. So we've got hot stream on stream action right now. Oh, so she's the roster randomizer to pick out her opponent. She's going to take on Lyra Valkyria. Or is she taking them on, or is she just doing a fucking highlight video of them? She's literally she's the fucking Wikifax, or, you know, the roster breakdown for everyone on the roster.
See, this is the kind of stuff that doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. Like, why?
Yeah, a little bit of why is this on my screen right now? Make this a digital exclusive. Or if you're going to do this, like, I don't, yeah. I still keep looking at her and say, how much do clothes cost in the Matrix? I don't. They keep trying to fit in too many gimmicks, like over the top, like Duke the Dumpster Drovey. I'm sure I butchered that name, or Repo Man gimmicks and everything. So we start fine as hell. Oh boy, Christy and her podcast. Yawn. Stevie Turner with Twitch gimmick isn't really a gimmick when they really do Twitch IRL. Charlie girl, anyone. Fair, right. Well, no one was saying it's not good, okay, Chris? Stop trying to make it seem like it's good. It's not good. I'm a huge fan of Stevie Turner, very talented in the ring. Stevie Turner, not a good debut match. She's really talented, but not impressed with her debut. Fair enough, yeah. But we do have Tony D'Angelo versus Von Wagner right now kicking off. So give us your predictions. Cliff Stradamus here is taking Tony D'Angelo. I'm taking Von Wagner. And I guess next week we're getting Lyra Valkyria versus Stevie Turner and in a Twitch off, I guess. It's not just making that clear. Okay, fair enough, Chris. Fair enough. Fair enough. Von Wagner for the win, says Damien.
Everyone's so big of Von Wagner.
Well, Tony just needs more people around him, I feel like. We thought we might have gotten Dijak being there as, like, you know, the heavy, the muscle, or anything like that.
I still say that Von Wagner's going to lose.
What's that?
I still think Von Wagner is going to lose.
Well, does Von Wagner potentially end up being, like, somehow pairing up with Tony? He's his heavy. He's his big cast, and you can't teach that.
Or could it potentially be that somehow I don't know why I could see Dijak and him pairing up.
Dijak and Von Wagner?
Yes.
Because it's the fucking Predator meets Arnold.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what it is.
He just looks at Von Wagner. What the fuck are you? You ugly motherfucker.
I don't know. I just like because they faced off each other and just like developed like a mutual respect for one another kind of thing.
Fair enough.
That match was really good too for two big guys.
Call him Jack Wagner. What?
Jack Wagner.
Dive on. There's only there's 5 tag teams I like in NXT, and it's dive on, and dive on. Larry's on some other shit. And Robert Stone can be Tony D's accountant. Yeah, no, he's like the Weasel character or whatever. Everybody's watched the fucking Sopranos. You can make that shit work. One of Robert Stone pulls a swerve joining Tony D'Angelo. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Tim, what up? Mitch asking us what our favorite color is, I guess. So, fair enough. I guess maybe I'll just take Larry's answer. Larry answers for me. What if Gargano comes back to NXT? No. Tim, unfortunately, I don't see that. Who would win in a match, Robert Stone or Paul Heyman? Oh, Lord. Well, Robert Stone was Paulie E in Impact, so he's actually wrestled recently, I feel, versus Paul Heyman. If you watched his, punches on KO, I think Robbie E's got that. Spinebuster from Tony D'Angelo of Polo trying to shout out saying, I've got the, I'm rocking the Tony D'Angelo fitted. Well, from one good Paisan to another here.
Yeah.
And Cliff Stradamus strikes again. Tony D'Angelo picks up the win.
There you go, man.
Like I said, that's now your new gimmick on here. You got to show up like Oz, like Kevin Nash when he was Oz in WCW. Grandmaster, fucking turban, everything. You got to be out here with the crystal ball. You got to be like Miss Cleo. You just call the number 999 right now. And I'll read you. I'll tell you who's going to win the match now. The Don wins. Who would win, Kenny Omega or Roman Reigns? Roman Reigns. Oh, we're going to talk about Dijak now. Kiana James also becomes Tony D's accountant. No, he becomes his paralegal, allegedly. But Tony right now cutting a promo saying how Halfstack chose family over the North American Championship. Yeah, because he was going to win that shit, right? But so we're setting up Tony versus Dijak. We thought of a couple things, maybe the gabagool. Oh, we're going to handle this in the ring. So I bet you we're setting up for Roadblock. Yep. In a jailhouse street fight. Shout out Dusty Rhodes, baby. We're getting a jailhouse street fight between Tony D'Angelo, the Dijakaneta, at NXT Roadblock. See, the Miz and MJF have a promo battle. He already has who? Dimes becomes Terminator Jr. No, he's John Ghana. Yeah, John Ghana, come in with me. Yeah. Oh, and Nikita Lyons out here obviously hasn't been hitting the tanning salon, as we can see, but out here with the crutches in the lowest of tops, I guess, of Nikita. I understand you got the thickness, and you can't maybe show that off with being on crutches, but you're leaving little to the imagination there, girl. So, I don't know. Have you given a prediction yet, Cliff, of Cliff Stradamus there of, hey, Tiffany Stratton, the center of the universe. But do you have a prediction for who ran down Nikita Lyons of, was it Ava Rain of, I did it for The Rock. I did it for my family.
No, I don't think so.
It was Rikishi with a pipe wrench in the library.
You know what? That one's a hard one. I feel like it's gonna be someone that's like you least expect it.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Watch, it's that Wendy Chu was her name.
Wendy Chu?
Yeah.
No, then that's Maggie shot
She
Mr.
was
Burns.
she
That's
was sleeping
100%
behind
what
the
that
wheel.
is.
She was sleeping behind the
Tiffany
wheel.
was just reaching for her drink and she slipped and fell. And that's what caused it. That's like C. Montgomery Burns reaching for the fucking lollipop, like stealing candy from a baby and then gets shot.
Yeah.
But I do like that we just had a Tiffany epiphany and how we won't be seeing Nikita Lyons for a whole year. Call the Scooby-Doo Detective Agency. Ruh-roh, Raggy. What? God bless America, Nikita Lyons. The center of the universe, as if, well, the world may never know. Tiffany epiphany. Yes, I do. Tiffany Stratton's getting over and more with me, and I swear me and Vince don't have anything in common, but she's making it work. Cora J, that's my prediction, who ran down Nikita Lyons. Fair enough. But we are in commercial break again right now as we are in the final half hour of NXT, folks. So what are you thinking so far of NXT? If you haven't done so already, give us your prediction for the main event. If you haven't done so already, like, share, and subscribe to the video. Ring the bell notification. We do have the interview with Cole Radrick premiering on the channel as well. And we're here all week covering anything and everything. And like I said, we still got plenty of tricks up our sleeve if you're going to want to hit that bell notification, because we still got plenty of things working that I haven't gotten full clearance yet to announce yet or anything. So you'll want to make sure you're here for it, folks. Well, Nick, we know what baby Maggie did to Burn. See, Larry,
there you go.
Same mind. Tiffany Stratton is very over with me. She's a very talented wrestler. Well, I think she gets more than 2 thumbs up from a lot of people, though. I love Tiffany, the actual new attraction. That's not a bad nickname there, Chris. But so, Cliff, what are you thinking so far tonight of NXT?
Pretty good. The match has been solid. I think it helps that, I've been hitting all my predictions correctly. And
Cliff Suramis has been birthed tonight on, the first, regularly scheduled programming of me and Cliff on Tuesdays. We've got
I'm going to start putting money on this, man. I'm going to start putting money on this.
Oh, yeah. Listen, folks, this man's already started getting a few predictions right. He's already turned into a degenerate gambler here. He's going to have lines and betting odds. So, did you know that Tiffany's a 2-1 favorite on this match? She's a 3.5 point underdog right now. New name, Tiffany Epiphany.
My ego is just getting big now. That's all it is.
No, you're good. Trust me. From one ego to another, I guess. I agree with Cliff. I think that was Tian Shaw, aka Wendy. All right, you're just breaking out like legal names and everything, I guess.
Yeah, man.
Pushing Stratton to the moon for the NXT title. Roxanne Perez versus Tiffany Stratton, maybe. Stand and deliver, maybe. Oh, why are you asking just me? Ask Cliff too.
NXT Rampage, Nick.
Which do you think is better, NXT or Rampage?
I'm gonna go.
One has Axiom and one has Chase U, and the others don't. So
yeah, well, I'm going NXT just by default because I don't really watch Rampage. So yeah,
you're gonna have to make me make a case for Rampage. That's what you just did there.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? If they do change it to Ring of Honor, it might be better.
Rampage has the opportunity to randomly at times, I guess, carry momentum from Dynamite / have that random outlier that is a big surprise or that is a really good match. NXT is a product within itself, within a brand of it is independent of Raw, of SmackDown, I feel, but it 100% in ring NXT is better top to bottom, I feel. It's more consistent. It has more actual storytelling as far as the booking of his matches. They both run into the issue of they have a lot of fluff around them. As now we've got Tyler Bate with Trick and Carmelo backstage. So we're going to get Tyler Bate versus Carmelo? Give me that, please. Why?
Yeah, that'd be a good match.
Tyler Bate out here trying to drop knowledge. So, like I said, it looks like we're setting up for a roadblock. We're setting up for Carmelo Hayes versus Tyler Bate. And that's going to be a match that could steal the card. 100%, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're getting Alba Fire coming out right now. So we're getting Alba Fire in here, and she's coming out with Isla Dawn. And I mean, I know Vince Russo might not be a fan of, the gothic type chicks and everything and professional wrestling, but I mean, how you doing? But so we've got.
It's like the female brood. They just need Gangrel there.
Dun. I mean, it's a little bit kind of halfway like that. They're just missing a third member. So then wait, who's Edge? Who's Gangrel? Where's Christian? But so we're getting Alba Fire versus Ivy Nile with Tatum Paxley and Isla Dawn at ringside. And folks, give us your predictions of. I'm going first on this one, goddammit. I'm taking Alba Fire. I sat there and just spent her whole entrance getting her over, so I'm taking Alba Fire. Kaylee Ray should have beaten and been NXT Women's Champion over Mandy Rose multiple times over, I feel, throughout their story.
Everyone's going to agree with you.
Well, no, we got already Ivy Nile for the win from Ryan. Picking Alba, time to give the tag titles to Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. Absolutely. Ivy Nile for the win. Got Alba for the win. So we're already split there. Ivy Nile for the win. Redhead time. Yes.
I just don't think Ivy's had a good win yet, right?
Not a whole lot. She very much. Yeah. Go ahead.
She could use a win.
Oh, 100%. She reminds me a little bit of like that Ivory style of female wrestler of she just looks like a little small powerhouse of
a
little bit Luna Vachon even of not somebody that's going to need the mic a ton or anything like that, but you throw in her match and she looks like she could actually hold her weight regardless. Tuca right now. Team Buffy. Yeah. They do a little bit look like Buffy the Ginger Slayer. What? See, someone got it there. Got Alba for the win. Ivory Wannabe versus Lita Wannabe. Oh, that's aggressive.
Oh, that's very aggressive.
I don't think Kaylee's Kylie Ray, but I don't think Alba Fire is a Lita wannabe or anything like that. I think she's very much she's established her own character. Like I said, if she probably should have beaten Mandy Rose at least once or twice. But Chris Sting and Isla Dawn, who's not even in the match. So I guess you're going with Alba by proxy. Hurricane Rana.
Oh, there you go.
Right. Oh. Roll up. Oh. And Isla with the distraction. Oh. And Ivy rolls into Tatum Baxley. Super kick from elbow fire. Alba drop. That's a terrible ass finisher name for a 3 count. So Alba Fire picks up the win easily on Ivy Nile after the distraction from Isla Dawn. And folks, all we've got next is the main event. We've got Don't Hinder the Jinder Mahal versus Bron Breakker for the NXT Championship. As we're getting a video package right now for Bron Breakker. So you're taking Bron for this. I'm taking Jinder.
Yes.
I just NXT could use a change. And like I said, if you get a bloodline style type faction or a top faction, you start getting to that faction warfare like we've had on the main roster, and you have Indusher and Jinder, and you maybe get Joe Coffey and Gallus involved, and maybe Braun's got to get some buddies or what have you.
I just don't see him losing it until like the next main event, like
so does he defend the title at Roadblock?
Yeah, I don't see him losing it on like a regular NXT show.
Well, maybe he gets the people talking, gets the people, moving and grooving, and maybe that sets up for Braun versus Jinder, the rematch at Roadblock, because still we've got Roadblock, and then we've got Stand and Deliver around WrestleMania.
Okay, well, I don't know. We'll see. I don't see him losing it now.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Fair
I don't.
enough. But folks, we are right now in a commercial break. So like I said, we've got just the main event coming up right now. So let me know if you haven't already. Let me know who you're taking in the main event. Let me know what you're feeling and thinking about NXT so far tonight. And also, I will remind you right after this stream gets done, go and check out our interview with Cole Radrick, because trust me, that's what I'm going to be doing. So you should as well. Because like I said, we've even got the wrestlers that we cover tuning into us. So nobody does it like we do it. Might see us often imitated, often replicated, never duplicated. 100%. We are the Wrasslin for Life Network, doing it better than anybody else can do it. Here covering anything and everything, and still just under a year old, folks. Got Bron Breakker for the win. No contest. Veer interferes. Well, he got lost with the GPS and he just stumbles into the ring. Bron Breakker for the win. Bron by DQ. Bron Breakker for the win. Bobby saying, damn it, Alba wins. Well, no, I think she was kind of due for a win. Tatum saying, Chris saying, Tatum kind of looks like DMD. If you squint really hard and look cross-eyed. Steven saying NXT better than Raw. I mean, you might not be wrong. It's somehow, oddly enough, been on par a little bit outside of the main event, I would say. Well, there was the Cody Heyman segment was great on Raw. The Sammy starting off the show was great. I think beyond that, it kind of got lost in the mud.
No.
I still love that we've got Booker T on commentary. Shucky ducky, quack quack. Can you dig that? Sucker. They cut him off though every time when he's doing the promo for NXT on Sucker. Let's get a GI Bro into the Hall of Fame.
Yes, please.
Well, it's still interesting to see who's going to be in this year's Hall of Fame class. Of, I think so far the most confirmed that we've seen is Batista of I walk for miles inside this pit of danger.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen people talk about Vince. I've seen people talk about Lillian Garcia. I've seen a couple other random kind of names floated around. It's going to be interesting that we're inside of 40 days out. We're tiptoeing towards a month away from WrestleMania, and we'd have no idea who's going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Can't be Vince, man. Too soon.
But on SmackDown, we're going to get Yowie Wowie, the Firefly Funhouse. But I did want to touch on this real quick because Small Mark says Tony Deppen should sign NXT. Interesting. Oh, KJ getting a pop right there because he's Yana James is now there with a giant K and J on her desk of give it time until KJ has that on his fucking desk. But Tony Deppen should sign to NXT. Well, if you want to hear us talk to somebody who's wrestled Tony Deppen, if you're a fan of GCW 100% and XPW, Progress, all the independents, everything like that, absolutely you need to tune into our interview with Cole Roderick after this stream. And like I said, I'd kind of maybe, step away and, we'll see what happens here. Of Cole might have felt a certain way about some things I might have said and everything. So absolutely, folks. Like I said, we're the wrestling channel. Even the wrestlers we cover tune into. Guessing Batista, Cyndi Lauper, Great Muta. Great Muta is another name that I've heard thrown out there because, well, speaking of Muta, he did just have his last match. Taking the pinfall, going out, looking up at the lights to Tetsuya Naito. So the illustrious 29, I want to say, not just under 30, I feel, career of the Great Muta ends with him looking up at the lights for Tetsuya Naito. Kiana, she looks like one of those shitty like app ad games of like, see, looks 100% real like this, and they're reacting to like super delayed video and shit.
Right.
I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to check that right now. If she's in there, I mean, Coco Beware's in there, Tori Wilson's in there. I feel like Cyndi Lauper should be in there. So next week we're getting a open challenge to kick off NXT of Wesley laying out an open challenge for the NXT North American Championship. Let me see. Oh, well, and halfway. So from what I'm seeing of it, looks like she's not in there actually.
No.
I'm seeing one video that's like Cyndi Lauper joins WWE class, Hall of Fame class 2019, and then I'm seeing Lance Storm doesn't want Cyndi Lauper in the Hall of Fame, and celebrities who should be in the WWE Hall of Fame. So it looks like Cyndi Lauper is not in the WWE Hall of Fame. So very much could be a pick there. But we've got the modern day Maharaja coming out right now with Indusher. And to me, he just looks like, what was Jinder doing on the main roster before this? Everybody that wants to knock Jinder going down to NXT and, oh, well, he can't win. Well, what the fuck was he doing before? So you just want to pay him to not do anything?
Well, everyone else, they have a lot of people that they're doing that with.
Yeah.
Not doing anything and they're paying.
But this works, and this has gotten not only him over, this has gotten Indusher over. And like I said, if you can make this a big faction and they kind of just run over NXT for a bit. I got that dog in me. Is the Titantron for Bron Breakker, Jesus. But we won't call him a Steiner. We'll do everything to acknowledge that he's a Steiner, except call him a Steiner. He sounds way too much like his fucking Uncle Scott. You know what, Jinder? You got a 33 and a third% chance of beating me. Wesley Open Challenge next week. Next week, guessing Dragon Lee. Oh, that would be interesting. Lee on Lee action. Well, it depends on the visa issues with Dragon Lee. Carmelo Hayes versus Tyler Bate next week. Again, like we've already said, folks, we're here covering anything and everything, and even more reason. You're just giving yourselves more reason why you should be here next week with us, with Cliffstradamus and Big Nick. Why?
There you
go. It's time for the NXT main event for the NXT Championship. I feel like I was halfway trying to read that like Mark Henry. It's time for the main event. Jinder and Jinder versus the Hurt Business. No, but Chris, we're going to get the Wyatt 6 versus the Hurt Business. So Jinder Mahal, 6'5", 240 pounds. He's already fucking towering over Bron. Michelle McCool, Batista, Lex Luger, Great Muta, Gina Sledipafo, Men on a Mission. Oh, well, you had me on the last one there a little bit, so we're going to get Mo is a Hall of Famer. I could see it though. Michelle McCool, I agree. I agree on the name. Fair enough. Still, I go for Breakker for the win. So I've got Don't Hinder the Jinder Mahal. Cliffstradamus has Bron Breakker. Let us know who you're taking for this match as we are underway in the main event of NXT tonight for the NXT Championship. And this is going to be fast then, because unless we run over, we've only got about 5 minutes here live. Yeah. Oh, big show attacker from Jinder. And I do like, though, he does still look good, even though he doesn't look like Jinder swallowed Jinder with how goddamn big that man was. But he still looks significantly bigger than Bron, who looks significantly big on NXT. So that's saying something.
Jesus. Very athletic, though.
Oh, tries to jump over into a spine buster. Curtis says, I got Jinder, Damien, EC3 versus Tyrus for the 10 pounds of gold at the 312 pay-per-view, April 7th. That's the next NWA pay-per-view. It's just they called it a number of, we just ran out of names for shit of just 312. What? Hey, and all right. Show of hands, who's beating down the doors for Tyrus versus EC3? Just saying. Be cool to see Demolition get inducted, but probably won't see it because of the lawsuit. Touche.
Okay.
NXT always ends at 10:05. All right, so
okay, so we got some time.
Dale already with the instant correction as we've got Indusher showing up and the Creed brothers showing up to take it to Indusher. So we've going to commercial here is we've got to get some control. But so again, maybe we get a trios of Jinder and Indusher versus Bron and the Creed brothers. We've been wondering why the Diamond Mine was still a thing, and if we're going the whole, collegiate style wrestling, what better than an unnamed Steiner that runs around in a singlet going ho 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 ho, right? Leading a bunch of other wrestlers. So
yeah, he fits the bill for sure.
As we're on a commercial break, folks, by the way, but Men on a Mission were huge for a brief moment in time. They had the crowds rock and wave your hands in the hands. Is that like Owen Hart with I'm gonna take your leg out of your leg of put your hands in your hands? Men on a Mission was great to look back at and kind of have a chuckle at. Did anyone really think that they really were like super over anything?
No.
No. It was anyone just clamoring during the King Mabel title run? Bobby halfway onto a Vince commentary call there of, wow, what a maneuver. All you get from Vince on commentary is, what a maneuver. Migo Satomiyama versus Zoe Starks next week on NXT. Is that confirmed, Damien? Or are you just kind of fantasy booking here?
No, I think it was posted.
Fair enough. Bron Breakker takes over Diamond Mine. Call it Diamond Mine Alpha versus Alpha Cat. Too many alphas. Listen, fucking Andrew Tate doesn't work for WWE. Dude, we don't need all this alpha shit and everything. Like, you can just have a name and not have alpha involved. Wave your hands in the air on that. No, smile mark. I got what you were saying, but I got to take the piss out of you a little bit. It wouldn't be me if I wasn't a smart ass. Why? You can go ask Cole about that. Why? You can check out Cole talking about that after we're done here tonight on NXT. But so I guess Dale was right. If we're going to have the 5-minute run over here, because we're right now in the last minutes here. So unless we get a good run over, we've got Jinder Mahal versus Bron Breakker for the NXT Championship. And does Bron go out to the Colossus?
No, definitely not.
So Jinder taps to the Steiner recliner. Here we go. No, he'll do the top rope bulldog like his daddy.
Yeah, I don't see him tapping out.
But you don't see how Jinder could be used as a main card or a main title, a main event type guy in NXT. You don't see it at all.
I could see it. Like in this capacity, like I don't know, going up, but I don't see him winning the title. I don't see him having the title on him.
You know, I could see Jinder holding a title in WWE, and why not? If he's not going to hold a main roster title, hold the NXT title.
I guess.
Lauren, hey guys, I'm late. Lauren, I feel like at least for the NXT, you're very late. And when it comes to catching, the interview, or if you want to watch the replay back or watch us on anything else or anything, you're fine. But what up, Lauren? Is Tiffany the center of the universe? Probably just for you, Nick. That's allegedly an accusation. Those are inflammatory statements there, sir. My people will talk to your people, Chris, about that statement. Bron Breakker, Bo Dallas, better NXT champ. Oh. Ooh. You want to answer first, Cliff?
What was the question again?
Sorry, I'll pull. Bron Breakker or Bo Dallas, better NXT champ?
Bo Dallas.
Okay. You believe?
I believe.
I halfway want to go with you there, but just
the only thing
that title was ugly as shit. That title was ugly as sin. So
yeah, but Bo Dallas had more charisma than Bron Breakker. So,
but he didn't have the Steiner attitude and everything. He didn't talk and cut every promo like this.
Yeah, but you don't need. But that's the thing that goes back to what you don't like is like the old 90s, 80s promos.
This man's out here in a Dayglow fucking singlet, a light bright singlet, and you're out here saying we don't like the 80s and 90s. Now, I mean, who else has been involved in a feud with Chucky during a show? As we're getting Jinder's going to Suplex City. Salut, Lauren. Hello, Lauren. I guess Lauren saying, "Hey, Cliff,
how you doing?"
Technical. So, see someone from your neck of the woods, I guess, with technical. Tech on tech. Jinder is a good wrestler. No one said he wasn't. Hello, Bobby. Jinder. Oh, Lord. Don't hinder the Jinder. Rick Boogs versus Elias in a Guitar Hero match at WrestleMania. Book it, Nano. They have to play Dragon Gate or Dragon Force, whatever the fuck band, Through the Fire and Flames. Guitar Hero, because that was always, and they have to play it on like expert or super hard because that was always the hardest fucking.
That was always that's done.
Two go, yeah. So far away. Yeah, no. Jinder ain't gonna last with the Steiner bombs. Well, we haven't had one yet. I don't feel. Oh, so close. Bobby, I feel like that's just becoming your catchphrase. You're just trying to, be like me of have the easy catchphrase you can just dump out there, whatever. Bollywood boys with the interference. Aren't they in AW? I feel like, or they were. Well, yeah, Randy Orton is still where he's doing that face after he just looked at him. Shit, somebody might want to check on him. But we've still got Bron right now versus Jinder Mahal, folks. We've got Frankensteiner, I guess, if you want to call that. It looked like more like Bron did a backflip and then Jinder did a front flip and just in two different segments. And a wannabe jackhammer from Bron. The Bollywood boys are in AWC. See, I thought so. Go, Bron, win this thing. The crowd is very, very dull for this. Yeah. Well, like I said, we did have, Braun is so awful chance and everything. We had anti-Braun Breaker chance last week during the segment for this. Spear?
Yeah.
What the fuck was that finish? That was go home fast finish because Jinder set up for the Colossus. Braun rolled out of the way and
so wait.
They called it a spear, but it was damn near more just a double leg takedown for a 3 count.
That was your WWE champion, ex-WWE champion that just.
Hey, I don't act like I was sitting here waving the fucking flag for Jinder.
You guys waved the flag.
Listen here, Cliffstradamus. I knew it was the outside chance. That's why I held off for the longest time on it, but I still could have seen it happening. But goddamn, like Ryan said here, boo. That was a boo earns here. 1, 2, 3. Bron wins. Yay. Steiner retains. Adonis or Sam Adonis versus Calvin Takerman, who wins Nick now on MLW. Good Lord, Damien. You know who wins? We all win because we're here watching NXT and we still got the interview with Cole Roderick coming up right now. And I tried to make that work in some sort of segue and sounded all preachy out of that. But C Money, where you been? Getting my humor of. I was saying boo earns.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and we're getting a fucking. Oh, I thought we were getting another Tubi ad like the goddamn Super Bowl, but no, we've got Grayson Waller back here flicking through because I was like, who? While I'm pulling up Elimination Chamber right now on Peacock while I'm on USA Network. He's the new main event, the new showstopper. I've seen people sit there and say that Shawn Michaels should unretire to face Grayson Waller. What do you think, Cliff?
Well, with Waller or
yeah, if we get Shawn Michaels versus Grayson Waller at say Stand and Deliver, if Shawn Michaels unretires because he's constantly been going at him.
I don't know if I see Shawn Michaels wrestling again. I don't. I maybe like they have like a fill-in for him, like what is it, like a surrogate?
He chooses his advocate.
Yeah, like chooses his wrestler to fight for him, pretty much.
Right. His avatar.
Yeah.
But folks, let me know first while we were talking everything there of Grace Waller very much called out somebody. I can't say exactly who it was, whether it was Sean or it might have been we get, him chasing Bron again for the title. But again, I like at least that this main event scene on NXT is starting to get a good chunk of names involved. But that is NXT, folks. Give us your ratings for tonight. Let us know what you thought of NXT. Let us know what you thought of us. God damn it. Cliff, what is your rating, sir, for NXT?
I don't think I'm feeling as much love for this one.
There was no Axiom. There was a little Chase U, but they took the L. So
yeah, you know what? I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10.
Oh, you went hard in the paint. What did you give
only
last week? Like an 8 or a 9 or something? You were out here advocating. You were petitioning. You were
but
here's in the streets here saying vote for NXT.
The finish was pretty garbage.
I'll give you that. The finish came out of nowhere. It felt super rushed, and it felt to have an NXT World Title match on your show, and it feels almost halfway like an afterthought, and it's rushed at the back end, and you had so many matches beforehand that while good, they all felt super quick because they felt like you had to turn through so many. And as we said, of in-ring good, outside of ring bad. I'll get through some of these ratings here before I give mine here because I feel like I need to gauge here. I'm still debating between a few numbers here. Bobby's saying, and there's Braun's next challenger. He gives
8.5
NXT an 8.5. Another 8.5. Apparently, we got a bra from Adam here. Shaka bra. Matt saying he agrees with you, so we already got at least one person agreeing with Clistradamus here on a 5. We've got a 7. Bobby, see you tomorrow night for Dynamite. Not only should you see us tonight or tomorrow night for Dynamite, you should go and check out the interview that we had with Cliff Radrick. Absolutely. And we're here for Dynamite. We're here for Impact. We're here triple header on Friday. Impact, standing, No Surrender, Friday Night SmackDown, Rampage, and like I said, we still got plenty of tricks and aces up our sleeves, big things popping, little things stopping when it comes to the weekend, folks. The Ultimate Nightmare sounds like one of those of from the nightmare within his own mind, from parts unknown, gives it a 7.5 out of 10. Lauren already saying good night. Fair enough. I need Braun to go to the main roster, though. Oh, Chris, a man after my own heart here. Here's where you picked me out of 10. Yes, I think that might be the best rating so far tonight.
So is that supposed to be better than a 10?
I don't know, but I feel like that might be my new moniker when it comes to NXT shows of the Tiffany of Epiphany.
Out of 10, okay.
But so Ryan, shout out, giving us a 10 out of 10. Giving NXT a 6.9 out of 10.
Thank you.
Big Nick, in the promo Waller just did, he selected Stand and Deliver and said Shawn Michaels is not allowing me on the show. So it seemed like he was challenging HBK. Fair enough. So like I said, we might be getting he unretires and he has to avenge that terrible match that him and Hunter had with the Brothers of Destruction in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, that's terrible.
See money 4 out of 20. Vitamins, good sir. D-Mills, who won? Which match, sir?
I'm guessing the last one.
So when we're done here, outside of when you go and watch the interview and everything with Cole and all of that, you can go and then just rewatch this, and then you know who won. No, Shawn Michaels will choose Dragon Lee to wrestle on his behalf. So he's just a sexy dragon. Sexy dragon. I'm not your boy. I'm not your dragon toy. Is that what we get here? No. Smile Mark says 4. Lauren, I guess 420. Matt, I stopped watching in the past because of Bron. He's awful. 6 out of 10. I agree with Shawn Michaels surrogate. Fair enough.
Yeah. That's on my team.
Black Rain, meow, meow, meow. Yes. Someone got it there. The trash bin. Yes. Good old Dustin.
8.6. Really?
See money. See money. Clearly our socials and everything are running through there and everything. Just you get what I get and everything. So yeah. Be a friend, tell a friend. Curtis saying 8.6. Jason with a 7. Lauren saying hi to people. Black Rain as in TNA Goldust. Yes, absolutely. When he was out there with a fucking bin bag and looking like a fucking a hefty bag in gray paint. But that's a conversation for another time there. And again, we're ending, I guess, with who won. Well, Bron won in the main event. I'll give you that, folks. I think Evil Uno versus John Moxley will be very good tonight. Fair enough. But on that note, folks, we do, like I said, this has been NXT. This is the Wrasslin for Life Network. This has been tonight's episode of NXT. We do, like I said, still have our interview with Cole Radrick premiering on the show or on the channel tonight as well. Going to be back at it like a jackrabbit for Wednesday Night Dynamite and Tony Khan's big announcement. Then we're going to be back here on Thursday for Impact with special guest host Luna Havoc. Friday, Triple Threader, No Surrender. Friday Night SmackDown. And also Rampage. Don't worry, it didn't get canceled like whoever thought that it did in the comments there earlier. And then Saturday, Wild Card Saturday. That's why you need to be a friend, tell a friend, like, share, and subscribe. Let everybody you know this is your home for pro wrestling, where the alternative commentary you need for any wrestling show. Like I said, even the wrestlers that we're watching are paying attention to the show. And we're just the wrestling buddies you need in your life. But absolutely, folks, big things popping, little things stopping, up to something. Season never sleeps. Be a friend, tell a friend, like, share, and subscribe. I'm going to give tonight's NXT 6.5. 6.5. Okay. There was, like I said, the in-ring stuff. It was good. There was potential there. Some of it felt like there was too many matches on a card. It felt a little bit like an AEW show of too many matches on a card that didn't need to be there. You should have had Jinder and Bron go a bit longer. Even if you were going to have Bron go over, I'll agree with you. That finish of the match was terrible. A lot of the in-ring stuff initially, like we talked about, was great. Like we kicked off with Trick versus Ilya, and that might honestly be match of the night.
100%.
It's just all the in-betweens, like you said, the fluff and stuff that really kind of took away from everything.
Yeah. And that's why I gave it a 5. And then with that finish, which felt really rushed and, and it goes back to the point where everyone was making that like, oh, he's an ex-WWE championship, but then he kind of just takes the loss that way. It was just kind of lackluster. There wasn't much to it.
Absolutely.
And you know what? As much as like, I don't love Jinder Mahal, I don't even think he deserved that.
Fair enough. I'll give you that. I'll agree with you on that one.
Yeah, I don't think he deserved that.
But we already got that one. Jinder being jobbed as always. Yeah, unfortunately. Which is surprising with Indusher. Yes, that was when Dustin had the pet rat, very much like how Eric Rowan had the pet spider. But C-Money ended up with a for life. But so Cliff, final thoughts for tonight.
Final thoughts?
I was gonna say, did that sum that up all right there with just that noise of just
Yeah, that sums up the night. I mean, it was if the show felt long, it did, because of all the the in betweens and like you said, like it felt like there was a lot of matches that probably shouldn't be there, and they should have made that last match like a more of a hit. So those are just my final thoughts.
Yeah, it was the main title on NXT. You should make that the main
Yeah.
focus.
Yeah, absolutely.
But absolutely, Simone, I see your comment there, but as you even see there scrolling through, folks, we got all our socials and everything like that, so you can hit us up. We've got the Discord, so you can talk all things wrestling. We've got the merch shop, so you can help support the channel, and you can let everybody know the best wrestling channel out there. Absolutely, go and check out the interview with Cole Roderick, because trust me, when we get off of here, that's what I'm about to do. But we're going to be here all week covering anything and everything when it comes to pro wrestling. And our shit is real. Our shit is raw. Our shit is all authentic. When you're talking about that wrestling, you better put that full life with it. Catch you on the flip side. What?
Take care, folks.